Chapter 18, Sour, 147 through 156. Turkish Delight. Sabine puts a square canister on the lunch table. Ben and me smell roses as soon as she opens the box. Take one. The pink powdered sugar squares are soft and chewy. This is better than store candy, I say. It's delicious. Sabine grins. My mother will be so happy you like them. Ben bites. Edmund loved Turkish Delight. I wonder what it tasted like. Who's Edmund? Sabine and me giggle that we asked at the same time. A character in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Ben reads everything. I'll read it, says Sabine. Better ask your parents. It's pretty Christian. A Muslim can't read Christian stories? A Christian can't read about Muslims? Outraged, Sabine looks like a puffed cat. Sure they can. I just didn't want you to get in trouble. Sabine sighs. Father wouldn't mind. Father says sharing ideas is good, but he also says since 9/11, Muslims have to be careful. People think we're all terrorists. You're not a terrorist, swears Ben. Sometimes I get picked on for my scarf. It's Wednesday. Sabine's wearing blue. Whispering, head down, Sabine leans closer. When I'm at the store by myself, the cashier sneers, go back to Saudi Arabia. Sabine throws up her hands. Turkey's closer to Greece, 2 countries away from Saudi Arabia, a separate country. I want to say, why Saudi Arabia? Instead, I grumble, people shouldn't pick on kids. Folks shouldn't pick on anyone, says Ben. All 3 of us pop another Turkish Delight into our mouths. I knew blacks were discriminated against, also poor people, homeless people. I didn't know Muslims were, too. Religious freedom, I say, chewing. Sabine and Ben both nod. I swallow rose candy, then blurt, Pop survived 9/11. What? What did you say? My father survived 9/11. It's like the cafeteria has fallen away. Sound has been sucked out. There's no sense of anyone else in the room, just me, Ben, and Sabine. I squirm, feeling desperate inside. I want to see it, I say. What happened? All of it. How could a plane by itself make the towers disappear? Any computer can show us, answers Ben. The school library? Not a good idea, Sabine says, flatly shaking her head. Pop's happy our teachers won't show any video. I don't understand. If Pop was there at the 2 towers, why can't I see? Sabine, have you seen what happened to the towers? No, but my family talks about it a lot. With an internet connection, anyone can see. At school, the public library, home, anywhere. Ben digs in his pocket. My smartphone? Sabine grips his arms. Maybe we shouldn't. I want to see. I feel sick. I do, and I don't want to see it again. But this time, all of it. Pop was there. I want to know what happened to Pop. Uncle Ahmet used to visit Turkey every year. Since the towers fell, he's always held at the airport when he tries to fly home. Sabine releases Ben's arm. It isn't fair. What's Saudi Arabia got to do with anything? 15 terrorists were from Saudi Arabia, says Ben, 19 in all. 2 from the United Arab Emirates, 1 each from Lebanon and Egypt. Without saying a word, Ben waves us to another lunch table farther back. We huddle close. Ben types, searches on his cell phone. A small arrow appears on the screen. You sure, he asks? I nod. Sabine murmurs yes. The tiny screen lights up. 2 planes were hijacked by terrorists, Ben says. 2, I ask, trying to understand. Actually 4. 1 hit the Pentagon, 1 crashed in Pennsylvania. Sabine is biting her cuticles, making her pinky finger bleed. This is the first plane, whispers Ben. It's awful seeing the plane fly closer and closer, its silver nose pointing at the building. People were on the planes. They must have been terrified. Did they know? Did they know that they were going to crash? On the cell phone, the explosion is soundless, but I can imagine sounds, screaming, tearing, slicing through concrete, steel, and glass. The building's structure shudders. People shout, call, and cry. Peering, leaning over the phone, we watch. I hear Ben and Sabine breathing. 17 minutes later, the second plane crashed into the South Tower. Don't look at this part, Ben warns. Shut your eyes. Sabine closes her eyes. Me? Of course I'm going to look. What? My brain and my eyes don't work. I don't believe what I'm seeing. My brain says it isn't so. People are falling. No leaping out of windows, escaping fire, heat, suffocating heat. Can I see? Asks Sabine. Not yet. Ben looks at me. I can't believe we're watching together. Can't believe Ben has seen this horror before. How many times? Ben is strong, tough, but I feel sorry for him. Sorry for me. I feel sorry for all those people in the planes and towers who are expecting an ordinary day. I inhale, peering at black clouds, hellish flames raging, roaring inside and out the 2 towers. Did the folks inside the building know a plane had crashed, that passengers had died, that it wasn't an accident? The camera shifts back to the North Tower. A man and a woman holding hands leap. They look like skydivers, wind fluttering her dress and his jacket. Can I open my eyes? Asks Sabine. No, Ben and me hush. When there's a disaster, fire, smoke, maybe your brain doesn't work, just thinks, get away, run away from fire and smoke. I start to cry. Sabine opens her eyes. Nobody's jumping now. The video camera shifts back to the South Tower. You've seen this before, I asked Ben. My dad's military. Ben's gaze doesn't waver. He's kind, but he knows a lot. Book learning and life learning. Though he looks soft, he's already wised up that life can be hard. Sabine's pale. Her eyes are big. I'm sorry she's seen the video. Will all the happiness fly out of her? I wish I could talk with Mom and Pa, or with a teacher. Sabine moans and I gasp, but Ben's hands become fists. On the tiny cell screen, the South Tower floor by floor, falls, leveling, collapsing like an accordion, down, down, down. Tons and tons of gray smoke billow, darkening the sky. Particles of glass and concrete flurry like a tornado. Steel, concrete, glass pound, rush like death elevators, squashing each floor, one after another. Boom, 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 until there's no height, only weight hitting the ground. The people, where did they go? The South Tower burned for less than an hour, then it collapsed. Doesn't make sense, I say. Its foundation was strong. Took years to build, adds Sabine. Ben clicks another link. The planes were like explosive, gallons and gallons of stinking oil burning, metal so hot it lost strength and softened. Metal was the building's bones, I say, imagining metal sheets and beams buckling and glowing red. Ben avoids my eyes. The North Tower was hit first, collapsed second. The camera shifts to the North Tower. The unbelievable is going to happen again. How long did it take, I murmur. 102 minutes. The North Tower collapsed 29 minutes after the South Tower. Ben sounds like a robot, dull and factual. The bell rings, lunch is over. Ben stuffs his phone into his pocket. Sabine wipes her eyes and adjusts her scarf. Going back to class, the three of us move like zombies.